You are now tuned in to Milberry on the mic.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Milberry on the Mic, the show where we talk about people, passion, and the products that keep our community thriving and, well, fueled on caffeine. Today, I'm on location at the Java Moose Coffee Roasters, and it is some of the best coffee roasted in the Maritimes, I'd honestly say in the world. They are a global brand. I'm going to be working today with Glenn McLean, the owner of Java Moose, and I can't wait to talk to you about how he got his start, how he's been thriving, and what it takes to have this amazing factory. So grab a cup, settle in, and let's get roasting. Glenn, welcome to Milberry on the Mic.
Thank you.
How you feeling, buddy? What's up?
Oh, it's interesting season for sure.
So,
Merry Christmas.
welcome everybody to Milberry on the Mic. Glenn McLean is here to join us today. He's the owner of Java Moose Coffee Roasters here
Cheers.
in St. John, a global brand.
Yes, thank you.
Glenn, when you got started back in, what was it, 84?
No,
85?
this was 95, 96.
95, 96.
Almost 30 years.
But you moved here in 84, 85.
Moved here in 85.
Yeah. The local looked a lot different then
Yep,
than
very.
it does now.
Yep.
What has kept you motivated to keep your business here, build your business here, especially when it's not always easy?
Well, you're correct. It's really not always easy. There's everything coming at you from every direction, so we've got a great city. Arriving here in 1986, it's very different now from what it was back in 1986. I originally came from, my hometown was Cornwall, Ontario, and I moved here when I was 21. And you get into business and you have this perception that, you open your doors and everyone just floods in and rah, and you just keep going.
Yeah.
That isn't the way business works. You've got employees, and in Java Moose we have an incredible team. You've got the bills for the lights, you've got your car, you've got your family, which is, critical to all these people have to be happy. You've got government agencies swarming you sometimes. That's just the way business is in Canada. And then you have your day-to-day levels of happiness, or you may have a valley of, oh, why did I do this?
Right.
Or
Yeah, I can resonate.
Yeah, and then the next day you may be back to a high because, your sales were fantastic. You didn't have any issues with anyone the day before. But then don't forget, the next day you could be back down in that valley.
It is tough.
But
But it has its joys.
Oh, yeah,
Peaks and valleys,
absolutely.
for sure. That
Yeah.
I never really understood that realness until I ran a business
Yeah.
and had to manage the people, manage customers, because it is a lot of people management. So you can have this great idea, but the great idea takes a lot of implementation and process to work well.
You asked me a little earlier, what keeps you going? I thrive on being creative, and this is really weird because I also thrive on consistency and routine. So some of these things don't mesh too well.
Right.
But that also means that every day is going to be different, and I tremendously enjoy that.
What is something that you would tell your younger self when you started this business today?
Start at 10 years earlier.
Ooh, that's a good one. How come? Why?
It would probably give me more insight with the evolution of the whole coffee industry. Back in 85, right, before we were even in it, coffee was go to the corner store, go to that diner, and buy a cup of brown water, whether it was good or bad or whatever. in '96, when we started in St. John, that was pretty much the way things were. You know, you'd go down to Pearl's Kitchen,
Yeah.
and you'd get that cup of coffee, or you'd go to Tops and you'd get that cup of coffee.
Still do.
Yeah, yeah.
Love you, but that's my other cup of Joe, right?
But from '96 on, when Specialty Coffee Association of America basically started,
Right.
You started to see the new beverages coming in.
Yeah.
So I think I went to Boston a few years ago to the SCA conference, and I was one of the old guys. You know, you have a completely new generation,
Yeah.
and I think they consider this the fourth generation of coffee. And do you fit in with that fourth generation? And what I came away from that conference with was, I don't care if I fit in. I want to do the things, the fun things, the things that are interesting, that will not only grow my business, but give a really good wage to my team,
Right.
Make myself proud, but also make the city and community proud. It's like, wow, look at Java Moose. Look where they've come from and look where they're at.
As much as you've grown globally, you ship all over the world. The community has always been a sense, I think, a North Star for you. And
Oh,
it's,
absolutely.
It's a big reason why I
Yeah.
love to purchase your coffee. It's a big reason why I feel like we're buddies and, you know, we work together. How many people do you have working for you today? I think it would surprise people if they knew.
We have 42.
Yeah, so it's 42 people, you know, making a livelihood here,
Yeah.
shipping. Where did you ship to this month?
This month, we've shipped to BC, we've shipped to Alberta, we've shipped to the territories, Yukon territories, Halifax, Prince Edward Island.
There's no excuse to have bad coffee anymore, guys. We can ship it to you. It's
can
no
ship it to you.
problem. We have, how many blends do you have?
So our major blends, the ones that people enjoy the most, we have about 12. So that would be regular coffees. But then we have over 30 different flavored coffees.
Okay.
So our flavoring could be vanilla buttercream, okay? We started 3-4 months ago the donut coffee.
So good.
Unbelievable.
You guys have to try it, seriously. Pause this, go get it, come back, roast with us.
Yeah, please. Anyway, so tremendous number. On the drink side of things, we started, you know, back in '96 with a cappuccino, a latte, and a mocha. Now we've got 4 menu boards in the stores with different coffees, different flavored coffees, different specialty coffees. Then, of course, we have coffees from away. You know, I was fortunate enough to get away in February and brought back 4 beverages that we thought would be really, really interesting, and they've done very well. Our Vietnamese coffee, oh my God, it is so good. You know, you've got sweetened condensed milk with beautiful, and you don't say this often, but beautiful Robusta coffee.
Yeah.
And it's so tasty, you know. We have another one coming out. It's going to be a latte, and we're working on it right now. It's an ube latte.
Really?
Yeah. So an ube is a purple yam, and they pulverize it, very similar to matcha. So you add maple and the ube and a few other sugars.
I think that'd be a big hit.
Oh, the look of it is stunning.
You heard it here first, you guys, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's stunning. And then, of course, Christmas this year, you know, the rage is Dubai chocolate. So we've been discussing it back and forth. And how do we do a really good Dubai chocolate? So for the last few weeks, we've been testing different recipes. Couldn't come up with anything.
I picture you with like the lab coat on. You're just like this like crazy barista laboratory guy.
At 4:30 in the morning.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just insert picture of Glenn.
Yeah. Anyway, so yesterday, and that's how things work. Yesterday we came up with the recipe, and we're going to do some testing on the weekend coming up.
That's awesome.
And it's like, this is really good. But, you know, this is going to augment one other piece that we've been working on, and that's from the bakery. So Jeff down in the bakery has been making, I tried it 2 weeks ago, a Dubai chocolate brownie. Oh, I got another piece yesterday. Stunning, just
Stunning.
stunning.
Oh my Lord.
And I, being a diabetic, I'm not supposed to eat this sort of stuff. So I certainly appreciate when I do get something like that. But oh my God, it's stunning.
I find it always really refreshing. Business isn't easy. There's, like you said, a lot of peaks and valleys, but sometimes keeping your passionate is really difficult because you're managing so many of the things, putting out fires, managing people, getting your orders out, just trying to stay afloat fiercely.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to breathe that creativity and to think about new blends and things like that. And I've always really admired that about you, because even when things get difficult, whether it's tariffs or a window getting put out,
Smashed out,
you still take time, what I call nurturing the field. And when you nurture that field, I think that you have a better yield both from the people who are already purchasing your product or trust you, who could potentially be new people that would buy from you, but it also is letting your community know that you still, quite frankly, give a shit about your business, right? And I think that that's really, really refreshing. What is it that gives that? Is it your people? Is it...
It's everything. It's the combination of everything. And there's one other thing that's very, very important with my upbringing. You hate to fail.
Yeah, I hear that. It's not an option for me.
No, it's not an option, and you never want to give in to those people that would say, I told you so.
Right.
And that's a real important motivating factor for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm 61. I still get up at 4 in the morning, and you go to work, and you have fun, you have as much fun as you possibly can doing it. And if you can be a little bit creative, then tomorrow those Dubai brownies come out type thing. That's creativity. That new drink, that's creativity. And I don't do it all myself. I have 42 people that all have input. Maybe a little, maybe a lot, but it's so important to keep us going.
You've chosen through both the peaks and the valleys to maintain your business here, to keep it centrally here. Even sometimes, and I'll just say this, probably when it would have been more advantageous to go somewhere else or move or to do things. Yep. Same for me. But what do you see as an opportunity for Java Moose in the future and for this community? Because you've done such a huge impact, both by when you came to the mall and when you started to bring up, it really isn't just a cafe, it really is for new people to come and meet each other over a cup of coffee, to talk about the things they're doing in the community, to meet over roller derby. It really is a place of community. So I don't look at it as the types of cafes that we've seen modeled over the past 20 years, right? Just a place, you build it, people come. Java Moose really is a place that nurtures this community. What goals do you have for your business?
Well, I think my goals are very similar to what the goals are for the whole community. Mm-hmm. So St. John, we have ups and downs. We have industries that are up and down on a regular basis. We have an influx of new people. Sometimes those new people move to bigger centers. We have our very, very loyal St. Johners, very proud St. Johners that continue to support everything that happens in the city, whether it's the city market, whether it's us, whether it's, I could even say Lorneville,
Right.
People are not caught up in that, look at us and the rest of the world. We're caught up with looking and maintaining and growing the city to make it a better place.
Yeah.
One of the most important things, and this is one of my absolute passions, we had like 75 cruise ships this summer. Those people getting off the cruise ships and walking in the uptown or taking a tour, going to Hampton or St. Martin's or, anywhere in the area, they take home with them this image of a great little city.
Right.
And they tell people, and then those people may drive up or take a cruise or take a bus tour, and then they arrive in St. John. that's one thing. And, we're happy to greet them. We're happy to look after them. But on the economic front, we also have to realize that those people, the money that they're bringing into our city pays for your son, your daughter, your cousin's wages if they're working in a retail shop or a restaurant in the uptown.
Yeah.
And it's all new money. It's not recycled from up northern New Brunswick or,
Yeah, you see the direct effect.
You see the direct effect. And so for us, that tourism and that regular loyal crowd of people that come to us every day, those two combined make us a successful business. So how are we going to grow? We have to make St. John the place to come, whether it's the cruise ships again, instead of 75, well, let's get 100. That's 300,000 people.
Yeah.
Those bus tours, if it's 50 a year coming to St. John, let's move it to 75. Let's, intentionally go out and advertise and market and brand so that those people come to this city so that all of us can have a better life.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think as, business owner to business owner, and being a St. Johner my entire life, I'm 36, I think what's really important is to have the support of the city and those economic development agencies when things get hard, and to have more support of the people who are spending money to nurture their damn businesses.
Yeah.
Because we're the ones who are, really putting us out there on the map and really trying to keep people and give them a good experience and to make them want to come back the following year. Or when they're out at dinner and they're out in where they live and they say, we went to St. John last year. It was really nice. We went into a beautiful coffee shop.
Yep.
Sometimes that is what can make or break an experience for people. And as a marketing person, experience is so important. And I think it's great if we want to increase the velocity of people coming in. But I think the people, the powers to be here, I think they also have to be really adopting and talking to the business owners who are also trying to advocate for that.
Yeah,
otherwise, you have a missed opportunity, and that experience falls flat for those extra 100, 200,000 people that visit.
So, you look at the businesses. The businesses are very, very aware that tourist dollar is really important. Does that climb to that next level? We have Uptown St. John. They're so aware. They're spraying off graffiti and keeping the city nice and clean. So they're aware of what's happening. Does that next level, does that city level still understand that that person getting off that ship or that bus are going to drop $100, $200 that is going to keep that small business in business? And then it goes to the provincial level, Is the province really going out there and saying, we have to go down to New York City, we have to go down to Boston, we have to go over to Europe to get those people to New Brunswick? If they don't understand that, then we shouldn't even have that department.
I agree.
We have to inspire people at the local level, but we have to inspire people that are visiting us. So,
Well, I look at, when we had Victoria Clark here just really just pioneering for things, and it was really
St. Awesome.
When you have someone who's breathing light every day and just really trying to, it's hard because not everyone feels that same way.
No.
And sometimes you can be looked at as, for me, people have said like, oh, you're always out trying to advocate for businesses and doing things. It's cringe. But no, to me, it's me trying to put life into those things and trying to tell people something they don't know might help that business next month pay those 42 people.
Yeah.
And I think it's a dick move not to do those things, especially as a small town, as a small community. And, being in a small town, small community, I think, sometimes we can step on each other without knowing it. And I think that by us raising our hands a little bit more and saying like, hey, this is kind of what we're up to. These are the new things we're working on. We're still trying we're still trying to stay afloat. I think people need to pay attention to their purchasing power. And I'll give you an example, and maybe you can give me one back with coffee. But for me, growing up, I always loved being creative with looks and fashion, right? And so I always loved playing with makeup and things. And growing up, I always wanted to, have the coolest products and different things. But later on in life, when you start to find out about like animal testing and things like that, you really have to start to look at where are these things coming from? Now, with acquisitions now, major brands own all of these smaller companies. right? L'Oreal is now a brand that tests on animals,
Yep.
right? So there are products, not more expensive and not least expensive, that still put in the effort to try to be better for people, planet, and the profit. But people don't think that they should look for those labels or to think about, well, I could go get Colombian coffee at whatever place, but what if I got it at a Java Moose that goes above and beyond to
Yep.
make sure that they're ethically sourced, that they go above and beyond with their creativity. When things get hard, they don't lay off people, right? I think that that's so important, especially being here in Atlantic Canada, where we have been impacted by so many of those things, that people really do have to use their purchasing power.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think they
no
really
doubt
have to
about
put it where it is.
Yep.
You know, and if it's all like support local or whatever, I think it's just supporting each other.
I would agree. There are massive global corporations, and today we're looking at New York City, right? So we have a Democratic mayor in New York City that is going to pivot that city away from the multi-billionaires to the locals, making it affordable. Well, he can't do that himself. He has to be able to rely on the people that voted for him
Right.
to support him in the endeavors that happen moving forward. We're the same way.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't bring in a certain new product or create a new product without that support of my
Yeah.
guests, right? So that purchasing power is so important and strategic for us little guys. I look at Pub Down Under next door, roaring business. He's local, and he's been able to attract.
Yeah.
We have a great business in the Uptown as well. People are aware of us, people like the environment, and they spend their money. So by spending that, not only does it pay that wage, but it keeps this facility open so that we can be creative once again and come up with the new cake can, or come up with that Dubai chocolate,
Right.
or continue to bring forward the Christmas beverages.
Yeah.
If we don't have that purchasing power or coming to us, then we're dead in the
You're
water.
stagnated.
Yeah.
I get that.
I can't be creative at that point.
Yeah.
because-
Well, I mean, this show is a prime example of that. When we're able to be a little bit more sustainable, we can do a little bit more production, and we can create a show like Milberry on the Mic to go and
Yeah.
talk to people and cover the costs, right? But I think it is just that. So you have to have that breathing room to grow. Otherwise, you're kind of just churning things out, and you're all right, but your shrink rate's probably higher than you might think.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opportunity, money on the table.
Yeah, and you lose your passion.
And I always like to think of you on my hardest days sometimes, because I see how hard you work. And I know that for me, I've been, running my own freelance business for, 9 years, but really running this agency for 2 or 3, managing people.
Yep.
And I see how you can get up in the morning, whether you're tired or not, but like excited, ready to go. And there can be things like, whether it be machinery breaking or managing people or
That never happens. Machinery breaking?
that
No.
can happen.
No.
But like those are the kinds of things that you really have to be careful as a leader to not have your team wear that frustrations, or to, not just go back to bed for the day and then those purchase orders don't get filled, or people just don't get their wholesale orders today.
Yeah.
Like that's not something that you seem to have ever been it's been a non-negotiable for you to
Got to
do.
keep going.
What is something that you have that's keeping you going passionately right now? Doesn't have to be your work. I've been trying to lean out of things that aren't my work too.
So I always have a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So I love to travel. So right now, it won't happen until August. That's usually when I can take a vacation for a 1 week or 2 week period. But right now I'm looking at places that I could go. Not sit on a beach. I'm not a beach person. I'm not a palm tree person. But someplace where I could go and be inspired a bit. I was lucky. Again, I mentioned back in February, I was able to go to Asia. I've never been to Asia. My God.
Game changer for you.
Game changer.
I saw it when you came back.
Yeah. absolute game changer. So what did we bring back from there? Well, you're starting to see what we brought from there, how we changed it, manipulated it to get it into the stores. So, we have the best cheesecake in town.
I agree.
And we saw how they manufactured that over there. We have cake cans now.
Yeah.
No one knew what cake cans were.
Yeah, no one else is doing it either.
And no one else is doing it.
Yeah.
We've done a few things we do a few things from every trip, intentionally to bring back.
Yeah.
Now, in August this year coming, I'm hoping to get into the Mediterranean and maybe get to Europe and Greece. And that's where, there's a coffee culture, there's an espresso beverage culture.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
It's tremendously different that, once again, I can bring back just little snippets and create things that will inspire people here. Yeah. That's where I am right now. So I came in this morning, great day. We have lots of fundraising going on. We've got our regular wholesale going on. We've got stores that need product. That's all going on. I've got a great team in here working right now. So we're roasting, we're packaging, we're making K-Cups. We're receiving, inventory in. We're sending inventory out. We have a night shift tonight that all they'll be doing is making black packs, for the stores so that we can keep our guests happy. And then tomorrow morning, we'll start again.
For those watching and listening, if I'm located somewhere else in the world, can I get your product?
You can in Canada right now. One of the issues living in Canada is it's prohibitively expensive to ship into the U.S. by a Canadian. There are many, many trade barriers, not only the tariffs that he's implemented recently, but there's FDA prior notice. There's searches of your product. There's a few years ago, I had good cop, bad cop at the border. I was searched by a dog. It's like to bring coffee in.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
So in Europe, to ship by some of the bigger shipping companies like FedEx or UPS, which are the ones that you would have to use, it gets really expensive. So we're happy with our Canadian presence. We ship up north. We ship to BC. We ship to
Holidays
Vancouver
are coming.
Island.
Let's go. Come on, they're doing the night shift for y'all. Let's get those orders in.
And we also do fundraisers. So, the kids are getting their parents to buy coffee, and that's really going to give us a really great presence when they send out their gifts to relatives in BC or Alberta or Saskatchewan. So what happens in the spring, or January, February, March, is those people that receive those gifts, we get so many emails of, oh, that was fantastic coffee. Can I get some? Can I get some? So that's where we're at.
Well, I see, some big things happening for Java Moose.
Hope so.
And I'm really proud of, all the work that you and your team are accomplishing.
I've got another 20 years here.
I know. He's going to be doing the morning grind for the next 20 years.
I'll be 81.
And I'll be out there with you, buddy.
Okay. Oh, wow. You'll be 57.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll be in our prime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I will for sure.
It'll be great.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining me for this chat.
Glad you're here.
We're going to go make something, so follow along with us. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode of Milberry on the Mic, give us a like.